I'm just coming in from spending some time with a couple of friends, and we were talking about caregiving. Yes, indeed, caregiving. And they had lots of questions for me since most of them were not caregivers of their parents or anyone else at this point, but I had questions for them too. And one of the main things I asked them was, are you prepared if you have to do that? And do you have long-term care insurance in place for your parents or your loved ones just in case you have to do this? And guess what they said? They never even heard of long-term care insurance. They never even had that on their radar scope to even care for a parent, a loved one, no one else other than themselves and their families were they covered in insurance. So the conversation was really interesting, and it got bigger and bigger because more and more questions came up. And I recommended that they really do some further research in what could possibly be on their radar in the future. Listen, y'all, I'm on Dave Ramsey's financial website right now, and he's giving some really important points about long-term care insurance. And I believe that a lot of us are not aware of it, and we need to be, because you just don't know if or when you're going to need this, not only for your loved ones, but for yourselves. Did you know that age 60 is about the age, he says it right here, that you should begin to apply even for long-term insurance? He says you'll pay way lower premiums than someone who waits until they're older to get insurance and be covered. And you won't waste money on premiums in your 50s when you're unlikely to need long-term care. And then he said, is long-term care insurance worth it? Oh, yeah. Without long-term care insurance, listen to this, you'll have to pay out of pocket, and that's expensive. Long-term care costs around $234,000 within the last 5 years of a person's life, or $367,000 if that person has dementia. So you know this is critically important. This is important news for those who don't know. If you have a high enough net worth, you may be able to self-insure, but if you cannot pay, you'll have to depend on your family and friends to care for you at home or pay for professional care. Okay? Can I buy long-term care insurance for my parents? Yes. And if they don't do it themselves, he highly recommends you probably should, because in the long run, you're going to be responsible for them. It might be your mom, your dad, it could be a sibling, it could be a friend, I don't know. It could be someone that's dear and near to you, not even a relative. But no matter what the situation, we need to, as a people, know in advance how and where and what these finances are coming from, where they're going to be drawn from in order to care for one another. I'm just saying, it's up to you. Let's not forget the cost of the premiums for these long-term care insurance. It's between $1,000 to $10,000 per year. Those premiums are very, very pricey, y'all. And then on Dave Ramsey's website, he says, what does long-term care insurance cover? This is critical, y'all. Long-term care insurance covers a lot of in-home care costs, including medical care and equipment, task assistance, and home modifications. So if it's your goal to stay at home, long-term care insurance is a must. It also covers services outside your home like nursing homes, assisted living facilities, all these places that I told you are very, very high in price, and adult care, daycare. Okay? Does that last question, what was that last question I wanted to, does Medicare pay for long-term care? Yes and no. Medicare covers some costs, but you have to pay the rest. If you can't, check this out. The government can come after your spouse and kids to collect that debt after you pass away, after that loved one passes away. So, and to avoid insult to injury, Medicare has lots of limits. So you won't be able to choose the type or quality of care you deserve or your loved one deserves. There are a lot of gray areas here, y'all, and we need to be familiar with them before we need care.